All right, guys, it is Football Cruise on Naija Footballers TV. Another beautiful time to be on the studio to talk issues surrounding Nigerian football and Nigerian football as well. Football Cruise, like I said, the show is all about opinions with the guys about issues surrounding Nigerian players over the preceding week. And as usual, I'm not alone in the studio. I don't think I'll ever do this alone. I still have my guys with me in the studio. Lamid, how are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, for scarcity drama,
Yeah.
but we are surviving.
All right. I still have me Ade on the show today. It's good to have you last time out, and we have you again. How are you doing?
Since I came here last time, yeah, I haven't been out because I can't even go out, man. It's been crazy out there.
Ridiculous.
So. But anyways, football over the weekend, lots of football, and yeah, good to always be here talk about Nigerian football again.
All right. A lot of issues happened during the past week, but the top of the stories was the release of the provisional squad for that game against Ghana. Myself and the guys will be on the show today to give our opinions, our thoughts regarding that squad list. Don't you go anywhere. We're going on a quick break now. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. It is still Football Cruise on Naija Footballers TV. Just before we went on that break, the list, finally, guys, has been released. Provisional squad list.
The list of live.
The list that we've all been waiting for. Yeah. I mean, there can never be a perfect list, usually. There must be several talking points from list. But, I mean, before we dissect the list, bit by bit, generally, what's your take on that list release? Good enough to defeat Ghana?
Absolutely. I think this list itself, the players who are going to compete against Ghana, I think this was probably one of the first times I didn't have any problem with the guys in the main list. I think for me, yeah, generally for me, I think it was okay.
Ade, for you, what do you make of that list that was released?
Yeah, I think overall it was quite good. I was wondering why maybe one or two players did not make it, especially like Tawa Iwone. But I think this should be okay enough to sort out Ghana.
All right, guys. So let's get into the list now. Goalkeepers, we all agreed. The three regulars in the list: Akpeyi, Uzo, and Okoye. You were trying to shake your head.
No. I mean, for me, like I've always said, we cannot keep on inviting these three guys. I mean, it's just very funny. Like we know we'll start, so let's try something different. I was expecting
maybe not for this Ghana game. Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting the.
Wait, you mean different for the goalkeepers?
Yeah, I mean, okay. So I want obviously Maduka. Okay, but I expected this Remo Stars guy who has been doing quite well. I expected him to just be the third choice goalkeeper. Like it's not a big. What's the difference between that guy and Akpeyi? Like, well, we know Akpeyi is not going to play.
So, I mean, Noble, who's the MPFL representative amongst the goalkeeper that has been getting called up this time, is not in the list.
Yeah. So I just felt no, that one I had a problem with it because you cannot keep on doing the same thing.
Well, like they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We've had Maduka for a while now, and I wouldn't necessarily say we've had lots of regrets. So I think you should just see out Ghana, and maybe afterwards we can see, other guys coming in. Yeah.
All right, let's move to the defense positions now. New addition, Calvin Bassey, makes the team. Ekong, that's the guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, deserves to call up. He's been fantastic for Rangers over the preceding years.
Absolutely. I mean, I actually even feel among all our defenders, I think it's probably the only guy in form. Because for some reason, the likes of Ekong, Balogun, Awaze, Omero have not really had that much game time. You know? So I think we are absolutely very, very lucky. And it's a no-brainer. For me, it's supposed to start because, like I said, he's our most informed player, and for some reason, he has not gotten a call. He didn't get a call up for the AFCON. Yeah. So right now, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's just our saving grace.
Hopefully, we get to cap him in this qualifying games because he was called up once, but he wasn't capped.
Yeah.
So hopefully, but do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at his performance in Scotland. He's been right up there. So it was a no-brainer for him to come through. So we're definitely, as a whole country, we're definitely looking forward to what he can bring into the team. And on the part of the defense, like you said, all the other defenders, it's just been an average bout for them.
Very weird.
Speaking of like Leon Balogun, though, we're very happy.
He's been eased back.
But it's not played like a 90-minute game.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's just coming back from injury, so they're trying to ease him in.
There are those kind of players that we base their ability based on what we've seen in the past. As per you are a Super Eagles guy. You've played for us. We've seen how you. So he will always be back, and definitely looking forward to see what he will do.
Ekong hasn't been playing for Watford. Yeah. There were reports that he was injured.
Yeah.
He's not going to make the qualifiers. But I mean, the defender himself came out to debunk those stories that it's fake news, that he would be, available for that game
Yeah.
against Ghana. It just so, like you said, there are players that when it comes to the national, I mean, he's the vice captain
Yeah.
Of
or the
course.
standing captain because he's always going to start ahead of Ahmed Musa, who's the main captain of the team. Morio, Shimi Ajayi, Shiu Abdullahi is also, makes up that defensive positions and all that. So I think we are pretty much covered in that defensive
Yeah,
position.
definitely.
Talking about Shimi Ajayi, I mean, he played 100 games for West Bromwich Albion over the preceding weekend. So I think he's one defender that's not been talked about enough when it comes to the national
I think
team.
it's just the unlucky aspect of the team that he's playing for. West Brom, they've been pretty shambolic in terms of the league performance. So it would not necessarily get that high praise of maybe irrespective of however it performs, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't result in terms of, it doesn't reflect rather in terms of team performance and results, the player would not necessarily get talked about.
I mean, for me, personally, I think Semi Ajayi, I've always said it, and this is not me taking anything away from me. I don't think he's good enough for the Super Eagles.
Really?
That's what I feel. Yeah, I think the defenders are better than him, and that says a lot. We don't have grade A centre backs, but I think all of them are better than Semi Ajayi. If you look at them player for player.
All right, moving on to the midfield positions now. This is where one of the do you want to say major talking points from this list. I mean, we have the regulars NDDs there, Aribo and Frank Onyeka, but there are two inclusions: the return of Etebo and the inclusion of Akinkunmi Amao in that midfield position. Now, do you agree with those inclusions? Etebo hasn't played for Watford; he's been injured and all that, but I mean, he's back in the team.
On the aspect of Etebo coming back, from injury and being able to join the team, I think I categorize him as part of the Leon Balogons, where I said there are some players that, they have that Super Eagles experience. They have that, national team experience. So sidelining them will be questionable. So definitely, I think Ogene Karo Etebo coming in is not really something we might definitely maybe be angry about. So yeah, I think I support.
Especially the fact that
that.
we don't have
even
that, that
There is
much
really
option.
there's really no depth.
know?
There is no depth in our midfield, and it's a worrying point
Absolutely.
for the country. And you look at the likes of Thomas Partey for Ghana, like we were bantering about before the start of this. It's been really fantastic, and we really don't know how they are going to take over the midfield against Nigeria. So it's able definitely brainer. And Akikunmi Amao, I'm a big fan of him. You look at what he did in Sweden before coming in this January to the team he is now. So yeah, I think it's a good.
For Etebo, I mean, he hasn't played a game for Watford. The only run out he's had in the last couple of months was with the under-23s for Watford. Do you think bringing him is the right time to bring? I know he's a key player for the national team, but I mean, I just think we should give it a bit more time. Let's see him how he's handling his fitness, getting back to competitive game for his club before getting to the national team.
I mean, look, the Etebo stuff is like, I know you were saying something. I think it just shows the kind of state we are in right now when it comes to midfielders.
Yeah.
Because even Amon is not a midfielder. I was trying to tell somebody, like, what are you guys telling me that I'm always a 10? They might say he's a 10, but I don't think he's a 10. I think he's a winger.
He does, yeah.
I wouldn't even bring him for this Ghana game. I won't.
I mean,
Really?
I
Amon
won't,
is quite.
actually.
It's just the rise is just miraculous. Like,
Yeah.
coming to national team call up was not even on the standby.
Because
list.
after these qualifiers, we
That's strange.
are going to have a
Yeah,
couple of friendly
exactly.
games. I would wait till then
Exactly.
to test Amao to bring. Because I don't think he's going to play this Ghana game. He won't get a minute. I mean, you want to put this out, this out there. I'm saying it now. Amao will not play that game.
You look at his spell in Sweden, and you would want to see how he will perform on a national level.
Not
I think,
for this
I think
game.
it's just the excitement. But yeah, you have a point in terms of how
He's not a midfielder.
he's not. Yeah,
That's my problem.
He rules the wing, better. But I wouldn't say he cannot play midfield.
Have you ever seen him play midfield?
He does come deep. He comes.
Yeah,
Nigeria,
for
Ghana.
yeah,
See, this is Nigeria, Ghana. We cannot be using these bit by bit players who have performed.
I think
What
another
was-
player
what
was
was-
taking that position because I will still say
What was
he's
the
not going to play
what
that
was
Ghana
what
game.
was the blame on Augustine? Was the fact that he relied on one single style of play throughout the AFCON, and Tunisia exposed
Do you
us.
think Amon would have made any difference?
No. What I'm trying to say is that I think this gives room for more options in terms of game style and in terms of personnel.
Okay.
So I think, but you're actually right, because when you think about it, it's just 2 games. It's
Just
not like
two
it's a
games.
span
Bro,
of.
look, like I'm so scared now for Amal because I think Amal will play.
I don't think so.
I think Amal will
That
play
would be a
because,
big call from the manager.
because
Obviously,
look, he'll probably not start. I think this thing came too early for him because there are some call-ups that it can literally define your national team career. Those first two games that you come up with, you
Yeah.
can. And this is a do. This leaves no room for error.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
Ghana, this is just 100% game. 100% we need to win. So I think if Amal kind of flops, I think it will literally just mess that
So
guy
it's a
up.
matter
That's
of
what I feel.
uncertainty, basically. It's not like we are sure that he shouldn't have been there per se.
No, he's a
because-
good player.
Exactly. No, personally I'm excited.
Yeah, maybe
because
just get the experience,
I've been
be
a
with
fan
the
of him.
national team,
But
you
yeah.
know.
I think that was too quick for him. Like,
Yeah, too
wow,
quick.
too
But I mean,
Time will tell.
we've seen the rise. We've seen the rise. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he's still trying to get kicking and firing
Yeah.
for Copenhagen, Denmark. You know, he got his debut. I mean, in the last game, what a couple of days it's been for Amo actually. You know, getting his official debut for his club and now getting into the national team. Now let's move away from the midfield positions. Now let's go to the striking options. I mean, we're here
But before
previously.
you go there, normally in that list, they usually put Kelechi Iheanacho as a midfielder.
He's
So
now
what
he's
happened?
now he's now in the, amongst
Okay,
amongst the forwards.
okay.
Forwards, yeah.
Now we
Massive
were
improvement.
on the show previously. We were on the show previously.
Yeah.
Osimhen, Igalo. There's no way those two are not going to come back to the team. Now they are back in the
Osimhen.
team at the detriment
You
of some other guys.
people finally brought him.
I mean, he was always going to come in.
Yeah, he was always going to come in, definitely.
But at the
But-
detriment of some other
I
guys.
stand where I said. I mean, for me, like I mentioned last week, last time I was there, I said, attacking wise, I felt like we were sorted in the AFCON. The game against Tunisia was just an exposure of the fact that we kept on, using one style of or one play style, which was, from the flanks. And then you're bringing Osimhen, who we know the story in the last 2-3 months or 4 months per se, with the injury and how he has struggled to pick form. We saw
So in essence,
This is
No,
this
no,
is
no,
a
no, no,
this is
no,
a
no,
big
no.
game.
It's a big game,
let
yeah.
him fin-
A
in
big game. You might say the
what are you
biggest
trying to
game.
say?
In essence, you're bringing in a man who it's a camp. These players, the AFCON was just how many weeks ago?
Bro,
The chemistry will still be there. In my opinion, he will come and disrupt things. Though. So I want to see.
who will come and disrupt?
Osimhen will disrupt the attack.
Okay.
Okay.
You see what he's saying? Is
But
that-
he's playing with players he's played before. He's not like a
Played
new
before-
player
played
coming
before-
into the team.
Played before
Despite the
when?
fact that he wasn't at the
Since the
AFCON.
qualifiers.
Yes.
The
Even
AFCON-
before the AFCON. These are players he's been playing with.
Playing with
The,
all
Af-
his
the, Af-
vibe,
the, AFCON,
literally.
the AFCON was the whole of January into February, and now we're in March. So we can just say it's
Have the
been,
players been camping together till March?
how many weeks ago was AFCON?
How
Chemistry
many-
will still be there.
We look like we got to the final. We got knocked out in round of 16.
Yeah, I understand that, but I would not necessarily say there's been a lot to say. Okay, Osimhen, you can just.
Say this guy is
It's
not.
just, it's
this
just,
guy
it's just,
is
it's
I mean,
just,
Osimhen
a, it's just,
area.
is there.
it's just a threat that he has
No,
posed
this
over the
one has
past.
plan.
I mean, Osimhen is there. I mean, is there. We're not gonna take him out.
Okay.
But I mean, he was always showing. It was always a no-brainer that Osimhen would make. He
Yeah,
was going to come back to the team. So Osimhen, Igalo, they're amongst the options. Kelechi Iheanacho also amongst the forward. Umar Sadiq.
I'm not happy, but we have no option. Like I said, like you cannot do anything about Igalo with there.
But he's been playing well for us.
He's there for the experience.
yeah.
He's there for the experience. Actually, he's there for the experience. I mean, it's a crucial game against Ghana,
Yeah.
so we need experience in all areas of the
Okay.
pitch. And we're going to need. So Umar Sadiq. I mean, it's always going to be either Umar Sadiq, Taiwo Awoniyi, Peter Olayinka to drop out, and Paul Onuachu as well. But I think Umar Sadiq at the end of the day got the nod and is also amongst the forwards position in that team. Samuel Chukwueze is always there. Ahmed Musa, the captain of the team as well, is there. And as well, Ademola Lookman.
Yep.
I think this game comes too soon for Ademola Lookman. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I would love to see us test him in some friendly games after these qualifiers. But I mean, Ademola Lookman makes the cut. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely do not agree that it comes to. I mean, I think he's doing really well. I think if he continues like this for his club side, I think there's no reason why he should. Look, we don't have that plethora of options when it comes to our wingers who are in form, apart from Moses Simon. Probably Dennis, but we've never talked about him yet.
Yeah.
But we're looking at Ademola Lookman, Moses Simon, and I think this is the point where I think it's going to be very, very fascinating to see the formation on the Guavon place.
Yeah,
I think
I,
very, very
I want to
important
see that
because
as
I
well.
think I understand what Sab is trying to point out. You can track it back to the example you gave with Amo. This is a no error game, and Lukman
Lukman is
coming in
proven. How many years
on the
now?
Not
on
this.
club
This is
level.
a different terrain.
On the club, yeah, exactly. It's a different, vibe. It's a different situation. It's a different circumstance. So it's a no error period. It has to be for Ademola Lookman. So I think that's what it's trying to point out. But it's inevitable rather when you look at how it's been for Leicester. So I think it's just a matter of the excitement and how much Nigerians are looking forward to see what he will bring, into the national team. But I think I get your point because when you look at it, it just might be too early, and any mistake to make, Nigerians know. So
That might be his
but yeah,
last call up.
exactly.
All right, so that's about that for the main
For the main,
list.
yeah.
Now let's go to the standby. Now, of course, we all know what standby is. In case anyone gets injured, you come in from the standby. Now, Awazim dropped to the standby. Jamilu Collins also dropped. Chidera Ejuke dropped. Taiwa Woni dropped. Paul Onuachu dropped. Peter Olayinka dropped as well to the standby. But there's a new inclusion in that standby list, and Ogenyo Nazi makes the standby list. Guys, what is your take on that standby list? Deserve dropping for some players, and I don't know, inclusion of Onazi. What do you make of that standby list?
Shocking dropping. I'll start with Onuachu. Apart from the fact that I'm a fan, he's been prolific. I'd expect that he would have been given a chance.
He's always been prolific. Actually.
Yeah, maybe
last few
not.
years.
Maybe not to start,
We
but
take
at
it
least,
from granted,
maybe not to start, but at least make the main call up. Chidera Ejike as well. A bit playful on the pitch.
So
yeah.
you agree with those
But-
people that that have the opinion that he's playful on the
Yeah.
pitch. He doesn't know when to release
He
the
needs
ball.
to have that pass first mentality. The skill will never be taken away from him. But yeah, I think this is a good shout for him to sit up. And Awoni shocking. I think it shouldn't have been dropped, but it wasn't the greatest AFCON for him anyways. So yeah, I don't get you, Nazi. I'll categorize him too with the tables and the the Balogons.
We didn't see that coming. Actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
When
definitely.
last did that guy play for Nigeria?
Was it not?
It's been a while actually.
It's
It's been a
not-
while. I'm not exact now, but it's been a long time
Yeah,
he played for the
it's been
Super
a while
Eagles.
actually. But putting him on the standby is just in case anything goes wrong with the main. And it's just that, shall I say, that veteran, that experience. Like you said, we need experience in this. So
Not that kind of experience.
yeah, they'll be together in camp anyways, with a few training sessions before the game. So that could also pose a bit of help. You never can tell.
I mean, what's your take on that standby list?
Very, very honest. I'm going to be very, very blunt. Paul Onachu cases. When we say Nigeria see finish,
It's
that's the classic case of see finish. You know why? Because we take his goals. For
Will you take him
granted.
ahead of Umar Sadiq? Will you
No,
put him ahead of Umar
That's
Sadiq?
what I'm driving. We take his goals.
That's
for
a hard one,
granted.
Sha.
Because that's when you're looking at who got dropped
Why did you say
and
Umar Sadiq?
who's there.
That's what I'm saying. Like we take his
Why not
goals.
Osimhen?
Why not Igalo? Like we take his goals for granted. When you keep on performing at a certain level, people just, you are used to it. When you see a new kid on the block like Umar Sadiq doing something similar, and you're like, okay, let's give him a try because we are used to this guy. So it's just normal with goal scorers. We don't see Polonacho finish, and I think that that was very controversial. However, having said all of this, picking Umar Sadiq ahead of him is not much of a downgrade.
Yeah.
I would personally pick Paul.
Definitely.
Yeah, but picking Umar Sadiq,
In general,
it's not that bad.
In general,
That
I
is
just
very
hope, I just
honest.
hope we don't
It's
pay
not
for.
that
I just
bad.
hope we don't pay for it.
No,
because,
we won't
you
pay
know,
for it. We
I
won't
think
pay
Umar
for it.
Sadiq is good
We
enough.
won't pay for it. I think Umar Sadiq will not even play.
But no, besides
With
that,
the way I'm looking at it,
I'm even-
I don't
I'm
think he
even-
might even play
I'm even
any
talking
game.
beyond Ghana. This is not the first time we've questioned Paul not being in the team, and then you compare his performances club level, and then you wonder why he has not.
That's
done
why I say we don't rate him. We personally do not rate Paul
So
in
maybe
this
it
country.
boils down to the conversation about club players and national team players, but still, standby for Paul was really, really questionable.
I mean,
I
Chidera
mean-
Ejuke.
Educate, I'm a big fan. I love Educate, and I think it brings something different to our team. No matter we say he plays a lot, I just think he brings something different, and I always think we should have that kind of player because I think on the ball, on the run with the ball, I don't think there's any player probably as fast as him.
What does
Running
he
with the
bring
ball,
to the Super
and
Eagles,
he's
actually?
absolutely really skillful. So
What would you say he
I'm a
brings to
big
the
fan of those kind of flair players. So I will always pick Educate because of my
Flair.
No, no,
You know,
you've
it brings
highlighted-
some brings the
because
flair.
of my
No, you've highlighted
sentiment.
flair.
Because of
No.
my sentiment. So I will always bring Educate.
A lot of people might not agree with this,
So-
but I'll put Ejike as that Pepe in Arsenal. We need that seriousness. You know, you're with the ball, you're coming, from the flanks.
But
You get an open man.
You said it earlier that you can't take that away from him. That's his style.
Yeah, but
That's his game.
Well, in terms of pushing up front, what can we actually say Chidera brings to Super Eagles?
I mean, I just said it now.
Flair.
Yeah.
Flair is entertainment.
Of course. I don't want to go there and we are doing 0-0 boring game and that's it. So
But
going
you can
forward-
add a bit of creativity as well. To
Of
to
course,
his game
now,
as well.
I mean-
So you just might be that one player that brings that creative spark to the team. But looking at what he did at the AFCON, a lot of people came out to blame his selfish play. There are a couple of occasions where he could have released the ball to his teammate. He couldn't. And for the fact that the manager came out, I think one of the game post match came out
and he said
to
he
you
made a
regretted
mistake.
not putting him on.
That's
and now
Tunisia game.
and now you get to drop him on the
That's
standby.
that was very funny.
That's contradicting.
And I think that that's very that's the part I didn't understand. But like I said, I love Eduke. Talking about Onazi, yeah. I think I mean I was a big fan of Onazi going to the national team years ago because I felt it was one of those players you could rely on. I mean, I was big fan until injuries and everything
injuries.
just kind of messed him up. But right now, let's be very honest. There's absolutely no reason why Onazi should be there.
It's a shock
And,
actually.
and
to see
this
that.
for me here is a direct message to NFF and the coach. And I will say this and to LMC. I think it's the point where you guys need to scrap that league. And there's a reason why I'm saying we need to scrap the MPFL league. Because I'm not one of those people who feel that the MPFL should be scrapped because of lack of quality. No, I think it's a structural thing. I think the bad pitches and the owing players' salary. That's why I have a problem. I don't think it's a lack of quality. And if you tell me that Augustine Guavon that has been working, that guy has
he has
snapped
been going
pictures
to,
how many stadiums in Nigeria, and that guy did not see one midfielder to put on the standby list. For me, I think this morning they should have released a statement
Then what's the
to
point?
say the MPFL is banned till further notice. Like there's nothing that we should be going because this is an insult. If you guys don't understand what this means,
You understand?
like this
Then
is
what's the point
this
of having
was
a
just
whole
ridiculous
league?
for me. And
If you cannot go in and just
I was looking at it
standby,
and I was honestly, for me, like I said, this is not taking anything away from Onazi, but I think this is a terrible decision.
All right. I mean, generally we've dissected the list, but I think it's good enough to defeat Ghana to to get one over Ghana in that
generally,
playoff.
yeah.
So I think this is the best group of players we could get.
Yeah.
The qualities around, from the goalkeepers, defense, midfields, and as well the striking option. So yeah, good enough defeat Ghana. We just wish the Super Eagles all the best
Absolutely.
in that game. And guys, remember that game against Ghana, the two-legged fixture. First leg is on the 25th of this month, and this reverse fixture we played at the Abuja National Stadium on the 29th. So we wish the Super Eagles all the best,
All the
and
best.
hopefully we get to scale through and qualify for the Qatar 2022 World Cup coming up later this year. Guys, it is still Football Cruise on Naija Footballers TV. I've been with Lamid on the show and as well Ade on the show. Until we come away again next time, don't forget to keep it locked across all our social media platforms. And of course, Naija Footballers is the best place to be ahead of every build-up to every Super Eagles game. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Naija Footballers on YouTube. Till we come away again next time, keep cruising.